I need to play that whole video. Oh, yep, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I put my fuzzy on, and it makes it real quiet with my fuzzy on my mic. What's going on, Benny?
Just goofing off.
6:02, Rick. Wait, Matt, 6:02. I come on at 6:02 every time, just so people can complain. Even Benny. We're headed back to the catfish hole. He's supposed to be headed to an area with service so Madison can get on.
He has a little bit of service.
He did, because they called me, and I said, well, jump on. I'll be on in about 5-10 minutes. That was 20 minutes ago. Benny, I'm tired of politics.
Yeah, you need to lay off for maybe 2 weeks.
Man.
Take a nap, get outside. Even if you don't take your dogs, take that golf club with a scope on it and just pretend.
Well, we've been going out. Look, I had cigars for 2 weeks, and I was down in the valley, and where I get these cigars, and I was paying $44 for like a bundle of them. They're the discards, so they're the wrong color, or they're not wrapped right, or whatever the deal. I don't care. But I found them for like $25 on the internet. So ordered me. I hadn't had cigars in a long while. There she is. There she is. Let's see how loud she's gonna be.
Your phone? I'm not quite
Bunch
sure.
of barking dogs.
Talk to the phone. Look at she's sitting too far back. Get up there, Madison. Come on.
There you go.
Madison, just tell us about your trip.
Oh, well, where do I
When did you guys leave? For anybody who don't know Madison, everybody should know Madison. I think everybody donated to get Madison where she is today. But Madison came to Arizona and did some fishing and playing around with houndsmen people, and meeting people and getting dogs. And now I think you guys are trying to go fishing, but I said you have to get on the show.
Oh, yeah, we are on our way to Oregon, on our way back to Oregon to go fishing and catfishing some more.
Yep.
See if we can play some more catfish.
So how's your trip been?
Long and packed in the car. I mean, truck. Very packed in the truck.
Need to get an expedition and build a dog box in the back of it.
Yeah, possibly.
And then you made it to Arizona. You hung out with Benny.
Well,
you hung out with
before she even got to Arizona,
Utah.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know about the meeting she had over there at Kanab.
Who'd you meet in Kanab?
Kanab, you know where Kanab is? It's right there by the lake. It's on the Utah side of Lake Powell at Waweep out of Page.
Yeah, no, I ended up meeting Jeff Allen, and I was super appreciative and excited to find out that I will be getting a pup from one of his upcoming litters. And what I thought was funny that he told me is if this dog isn't the best of my pack or the second best, he told me he'd eat the hat he was wearing. And as a joke, I kind of go, well, I kind of want to see you eat that hat, but I really want a good dog, so I'm hoping this dog will come in here soon. Is going to be a real good dog.
Is that the only thing he offered you? Come clean, young lady. Come clean.
He offered me to hunt with him some in the summers, and he said if his pack's big enough, I may be getting 2 dogs, but it's set on 1 dog for right now.
But he's going to take you hunting. He said bring you and your dogs, and he would show you and your dogs lions. Is that what he told you?
Yes, Benny.
And he said he's going to train the pup.
And he said he offered to take the dog for a year and train it up and then give it to me. And I took that offer up.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
then you left there and in Arizona.
Then she
Oh,
went.
yeah.
She met Mike Leonard and John Klump, and John Klump's grandson is well, let's
Yeah.
just say that John Klump's grandson, his oldest grandson, found Madison fetching. Look at, she's gonna blush.
She's trying to figure out what fetching means.
Ask your dad. He's standing there.
They got me. They got me.
We
Yeah.
took the hike.
Me and that little stowaway Maddox and Tucker took numerous hikes with Richard and my little sister. Took a bunch of hikes up the mountain, explored the land up there. But
Tell them about the cat, the scrape we just found.
we were just out looking for little rattlesnakes for my little brother and lizards and stuff to look at, and we ended up finding under a tree where a mountain lion had a scratch for marking a territory and just to lay under a tree. And it was pretty fascinating to find because out of all of that land we were looking on, it seemed to be having like no sightings of life except for little critters every now and again. But to find that was amazing because I didn't even know that a mountain lion would be on that land. But to find that was awesome, honestly.
Mountain
So,
lions are everywhere.
Yeah, I saw a red and white dog right there. Is that the dog? I think.
Colin.
Pilot, come here. Pilot, come here. Here, boy. Yeah, there's Pilot right here. Pilot's right
Well,
here.
get
Come here,
him, get
Pilot.
him out. I want to see. How come you have a dog named Pilot?
You said what?
How come you have a
Tell-
dog
tell
named
us a-
Pilot?
Tell us about Pilot.
I named Pilot after one of Daly's best dogs. And one second here. Back up. Get back, Boone. Come here. Pilot, come here.
Oh, they're gonna all want to pile out.
Come on, Pilot. Show yourself,
Hey,
buddy.
there's Pilot.
Come on, Pilot.
That looks like a hound.
Get that. All right. Here, I got Pilot right here. He's a good boy.
How old is Pilot?
Pilot is going on 4 months right now. He'll be 5 here soon.
Was he on the side of the road or what?
You mean where I got him from?
I mean, I don't know. I thought that maybe having
Where'd
a
you
dog
get him,
named
Madison?
Pilot.
Where'd you get
Yeah,
him?
what's up with that crap?
This dog?
I believe. Well, I
You
do
told
know
me
that-
4 times while he was here.
Yeah. I forgot the dude's name. I've been in shock.
Ethan.
I'm hard remembering the names. I do know where where his bloodline comes from.
Where's that?
He's somewhat Terrell Shelley.
Benny, let us know what it is.
All right, for crying out
Madison's
loud.
had a
kid.
lot going on in these last
she-
5-6 days.
Yeah, but she's gonna have to start paying closer attention.
Yes, she is.
You know, if she's gonna go to the school of Griffin, she's gonna have to pay attention. So I called Steve Smith and I said, "Hey, Steve, there's this young gal that told him the story," and he said, "Man, I don't have anything. I don't know anybody right now that's got anything. Call Ethan Sprague." I called Ethan Sprague and I said, "Hey, you know, here's what's going on, and we're trying to get this girl some good-blooded pups, you know." And he said, "Well, I've got some pups out here. Would she want a boy or a girl?" I said, "You know, I don't care. I don't think she cares at this point." So he said, "Well, I'll just show up with a pup." And so this pup is Reno from Steve Smith and David Welty, Peaches. David Welty is somebody that a lot of people don't know about. He's over there around between Magdalena and Brett's country. He's a top-notch hunter. Then Clayton Jump is a young man in Arizona. He lives at Glenwood. His father's got a ranch, and I think Clayton's working for the government now as a government lion hunter in New Mexico. Let's see. Let's deal Bravo, Dallin Halsey, Molly and Bravo. Bravo is a pup that I had that Hendrix had a litter of pups just before he was going to hunt on the reservation. And I took that litter of pups and raised it to 5 weeks, went over to the Wallapai and we split those pups. Bravo is one of those pups straight out of Hendrix's stuff. Um, Hendrix named him Bravo because he gave him to a little boy over there whose parents' last name is Bravo. Then Hendrix sold that pup so that kid could get some money, sold it to Dallin Halsey. Dallin had a dog named Molly that he got from Smith. So this deal so far is Steve Smith and Larry Hendricks and David Welty. But then it goes back and it's got a lot of Terrell Shelley blood in it as well. And Terrell's son Gerald is in on the deal. Now, this pup for there's one thing, this pup doesn't have a blue eye, but it's litter mate. They kept the litter mate because it has a blue eye. The blue-eyed dogs on the Smith side come out of a dog named Moonshine. And every single one of Moonshine's offspring made excellent dogs all down through the lines. So if this dog doesn't make, it's because it didn't have an opportunity.
Which means it's your fault, Madison. No pressure.
I go and I hunt as much as I can, and I stay in the woods. I'm constantly told to come inside out of the woods, honestly. More than anything.
So if Madison has this pup Pilot, and I wait a minute. I think there's a yearling in this deal somewhere. Tell me about this deal, Madison.
Talking about Cowboy?
Oh, is that the dog's name? Yeah. What about Cowboy?
I got Opal's litter mate. And the funny thing about me getting Cowboy is as soon as I showed up to the rendezvous that year to get Opal, I look in Brett's dog box and I go, Dad, I want that puppy. I really want that dog. He's an amazing looking dog. And I ended up getting Opal, and I was really happy and appreciative to get her. And that hunting accident happened, and then so on and so on. And I showed up at Chris's house, and he goes, hey, Cody Lynn's not really with this dog right now. Just not, taking him out as much. And he goes, if you want it, I want him, you can have him. And I took Cowboy, and he's a great dog. He's an amazing dog. His personality's just like Opal's. He's an amazing dog. I love him.
And he's not a chump.
No, he's not. He actually
beat all the dogs
he whoops in the box. He can't get beat up. He will beat you back up. He got
he's good. Cody Lynn's in the academy, so she has not had no time. And I told Cody Lynn, what do you want to do? And I told her about Madison losing the sister. She said, absolutely. If she can give that dog more love than I can right now, then it's her dog. And I think when I told Madison that, I don't think she believed me. I think we're about to see chaos. Dogs trying to get out. And she ran out. She was kind of like serious. And I said, yeah, go grab them. She wouldn't grab them. So.
Cowboy, here. Get that, boys. Cowboy, come on. Here, Cowboy. Here, Cowboy.
There's Cowboy.
Cowboy's got a very big nose.
I got him, Dad.
And he's a real.
Right. Here he is.
So that's out of Brett Vaughn stuff, which is, I don't know all that line. You probably know more than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the lineage on these dogs. What's that, Madison?
It's out of his Suki dog he's got.
Yep. And Brett has a couple other puppies that I just didn't get a chance to go get. So,
Cody's dog and that Suki dog.
yep.
But so Madison is fixed up with young dogs, and she's going to, well, that one's a yearling, so that's good.
Hmm.
Um, Jeff is going to keep that pup and train it up for her, and he wants her to go hunting with him as much as possible. Um, and then somebody asked, did Madison get the other dog? Evan asked. So I guess Chris, Dan told you that he wanted to. What was the story there?
Well, Dan wants Madison. So I thought they were staying a little longer. What he wants to do is take her hunting with the dog, show her the dog, show her how the dog works, catch a lion with the dog. So, and he says he don't mind keeping that dog until she gets over here.
So then, when did I
and he's
go home?
tuning
Monday.
that dog up.
Yeah. So Monday, I called him up and I met with him.
Just to get all the stories straight.
Yes, just to settle the dust. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we sat in a little bitty cafe that's out of sight. If anybody ever gets through Carrizozo, New Mexico, there's a little bitty spot that doesn't look like it's big as a minute, right there across the street, kind of across from Alsop's. But anyway, we were there for 2.5 hours, and so I just assured him that this deal's for real and that Madison will take care of the dog and that she's being surrounded by people that's going to do everything to make her successful. So the dog will be treated well and all of that. And then I video chatted with Madison so that she could meet Dan, and she got to see that Ringo dog. He's a red tick. He looks his age, but he's still got a lot of go in him. So with everything lined up right now, and I think Brett's planning on giving her
Mm-hmm.
a pup too.
Yep.
So she'll be covered, and Missy Hale's gonna hunt with her in the fall, and then Jeff's gonna hunt with her in the winter, and so Madison's everything's set up for Madison to be a success. She just has to apply herself and give it the time.
Let's catch Mr. Anderson up. Let's just do a quickie that everybody just came in. Madison came to Arizona. Madison came to Utah, stopped by Jeff Allen's, had a good old time over at Jeff Allen's, got some dogs maybe from him. Went down and met Benny, got to meet Mike Leonard, John Klump, a whole gang, a whole passel of people over there. Picked up another dog, right?
Oh yeah, very excited.
And that's out of what's the guy's name? Dean, or where did she get the dog, Benny?
Oh, she got it from Ethan Sprague.
Ethan, and that has a bunch of lines on a lot of good sides. So she got that dog. Came by my house. I told they wanted to ride the horses. I said, you don't get to ride horses unless I don't let no one put saddles on my horses so they ride them bareback. And they did. Bareback. So, and the donkeys and the mule. They rode the donkeys. They rode the mules. They rode the Mustangs, all bareback. Just halters. I just put halters on them.
Yeah, no, I really do appreciate that though, Chris.
They had a blast.
We all had a lot of fun, and it was I don't know, I'm just kind of in shock, you know.
There was no saddle horn to hang on to or no stirrups, so they had to learn to squeeze with their leg. I said it's just like my kids. They don't get to ride a saddle until they learn to ride bareback, and they don't get to drive a car until they drive a 5-speed. That's the only time they'll get a license. So
Madison has had a whirlwind of a trip. The whole family has, and the stowaway, they got a neighbor, I guess they call him the stowaway, and he got bucked off, right?
he jumped on one of the donkeys. He jumped on Emily, and I look over and I said, "Oh, like No one really rides that one. I said, my boys have, but they got bucked off. And I think as soon as I said that, old dog just started running. Uh-oh.
Beating each other
Well,
up.
I did go out on a limb and took let's see, I made a deal with Dan that has that dog over here in New Mexico. He doesn't have any males that are intact except for this one, and I think he's shooting blanks probably. And so he doesn't have any way to continue on. And so I took the liberty to represent Madison in all of this. And I assured him that if he ever had a female he wanted to breed, that we would get Pilot over there, or he could go to Pilot, and Pilot would cover whatever female he wanted for his part in all of this as well. And I told Madison that later, and she agreed.
Oh, yeah.
So there's more deals and more repayments already, paying forward and paying backward. And if we don't work together and help each other, then this deal's gonna be lost.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to keep that. You got to kind of keep those bloodlines back and forth.
Yes.
Well, before we get in that,
and I really
oh, we're not even done. We're not even done with you, Madison. Don't appreciate you.
Oh, that's right, huh? Just settle down.
Yeah. So after he's done riding horses and trying to get him bucked off, me and Madison jumped in the truck and went to Sportsman's warehouse, and she kind of had a little shopping spree. You should have seen her too. Like she didn't know what to do. So we got her hooked up, backpack, boots, Binoc Vortex, knives, flashlights, got her a good pair of Danner boots. She was running around in those DC tennis shoes.
Didn't even have no boots, huh?
Then he had no boots. I said, you got any pair of boots? She said, no. I said, you'll be running in those? She said, yes. I said, no, we got to get you a pair. But that's the first thing we did. Went right to the boot section. I bet you she's wearing them right now.
How'd you know? They're on my feet right now.
You put them on as soon as you got in the truck.
They're not even little cheesy boots, are they?
No, they're Danners.
Oh, yeah.
So
They're nice boots. They get me up the mountain a lot faster. I'm not slipping my way down.
on
the
its
mountain
way,
trying
Cody,
to-
on its way. Hang on.
Hey, when Cody King makes a request, you do
Yeah,
it.
I'm on it. Don't even hesitate. What else did we get you? I don't remember.
A bladder for water. I got leashes, collars.
Oh yeah, my buddy made her a couple tree ties, and Missy Fix had sent me a bunch of collars. So the only thing I didn't have is the nameplates yet, but we'll get those ordered. And we gave her. So I gave her. She has like 6 collars, and she has other stuff coming, but we don't want to tell her what it is yet.
I've already used it a few times.
There you go.
Oh, you didn't have that so that you could show that to Mr. Clump's grandson.
Oh, Benny.
Oh,
I ain't
Benny.
that kid.
Got our good headlamp, the highest lumen we could find there.
Yeah, you blinded me with that, Chris. Talk about deer in headlights.
So she's set up enough. Got a good backpack too. A lot of pockets. I said, you don't want them too big. You don't want them too small to go to the tree. Just enough to keep your leashes, your water, some baby clams or oysters, your knives, flashlights. Little pair of 8x42s, which is good for what she's going to be doing.
These are the binoculars that I ended up getting. Real nice binoculars.
Yeah, you can't beat those for the money, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Especially, I'm too scared to buy me some of them Swarovskis for $1,000 because I got a pair of those right there she has, and the lens popped out, so I got to send them back. The good thing about the Vortex, they got, that lifetime warranty, so.
Yeah.
I still just run Vortex 1050s.
Mm-hmm.
Got to, yeah.
So Madison is set up, and she still has more stuff coming.
Yeah. I I told you to hold your tongue about that because I don't know. I mean,
I said, you want to know what it is or you don't want to know what it is? She says, well, I don't want to know what it is. I said, you sure? She goes, no, I'm not sure. I said, you're going to really like it? She goes, well, just make it a surprise then. Cody King.
There he is.
Mr. Cody.
What's going on, guys?
hey Cody,
Oh.
what are you? You're supposed to be there.
I know, dang mountain lions. Just Madison, as you get older, you'll understand that sometimes you make plans and then them dogs start barking and they start trailing and god dang it, sometimes plans just don't work out.
She'll
I
learn.
mean, I can't lie. I would have chose the cat too anyway. But
I had to get revenge. He juked us in a boulder pile and trying to turn some lights on. And I was kind of mad at him, but we couldn't find him on Saturday. So, but how many listeners you got on here right now?
About 50.
So, as some of y'all may know, I had a trip planned to Africa on Friday.
Yeah.
And some situations came up at work, and I can't go. And I want to know if there's an Arizona Working Dog Alliance member that would have the opportunity to be able to leave for Africa on 2 days' notice for an all-expenses paid trip to go run hounds for 10 days.
You're killing us, Cody.
Look at Madison. Look at Madison.
Now, I do want to say that one of your members is a very good friend of mine. His name's Rick Cooley. Y'all know Rick, and I asked him, and but unfortunately, he's going to try to roll it around and see if he can make something happen. But unfortunately, I don't think he can going to be able to pull it off either. So that's a lot to pull off.
You're gonna have to have your passport.
Yeah, the problem with it is, guys, E. Anderson, is it's not a to your convenience trip. It's a trip where you're gonna have to get on a plane Friday. You know, you can maybe back it up a day, but so Scott Allen, the Englishman photographer that I hang out with some,
Yeah.
I paid for him to go, and he's going as well. And for that reason, he's taken off of work and done all of that planning, and I can't mess him up, you know.
I got a question for you, Chris. Why aren't you going?
I won't be able to make it in 2 days. I guarantee that.
It's hard for most.
I don't know if I'm hearing an excuse or you just don't want to go.
It's. There you go.
So
but
there's out of everybody there's people that have done a lot. But I've seen Evan's heart helping other people. So that's the caliber of guy, that's, paying back and repaying and all that. But what's going on with you, Evan? See, I'll be out of town too. I'm going to East Texas. I've got my annual heart checkup that's scheduled around fishing.
Yeah.
When Cody started saying that, I got excited. I'm like, oh gosh, dang it! And my brain's trying to switch gears and move around appointments.
And so, to be fair, I don't know much yet. I found out I wasn't going to be able to go about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, because yesterday you were just saying you're going.
Yes, and I called my travel agency and said, can I get refund for my tickets? And she said, no, but they will issue you a credit, but the credit has to be used by February of 2026, which I will not do. I don't know if they'll let me change my flight to a different person or not. I'll find that out in the morning. But it is a first class seat to fly to Africa.
You don't like that leg room.
Oh my gosh. So anybody Anybody that's ever flown to Johannesburg has got to know what that first class ticket is worth. Just
Yeah,
the
it's
ticket. If you
priceless.
can transfer that, yeah.
I'm a cheap
Jared.
bastard.
Jared, you want to go to Africa?
You got
I
a
go to
passport,
Texas.
Jared?
I'm going to
What's that?
Texas next week.
Africa'd be a lot more interesting than Texas. I'm in Texas. You ain't gonna miss nuts over here.
God dang it, man.
So E. Anderson said he may know somebody who could
I
go.
seen that.
I don't know who he's referencing, but
He said to repeat the hunt.
Oh, what kind of hunt it is?
so here's the hunt. You're gonna go to somewhere in South Africa. You fly into Johannesburg, and then you fly to some other place, Queen something, I don't know, and then you're gonna meet Gavin and the photographer. You're gonna go hunting, and if I have my facts straight, and you have to understand that some of y'all may find this odd, but I tell Gavin I want to go run hounds in Africa, and then Gavin does it, and I don't know much details about it, but I don't know if it's 2 or if it's 3 different packs, but I think it's somewhere along the lines of spending 3 days hunting with 3 different packs of dogs, running jackal and caracal, and that's the hunt.
Does he run any bush pig with his dogs?
No, and I know that last year he did mention that if I wanted to go run bush pigs that we could, and it's going to be an unbelievable hunting trip. If somebody there's Rick Cooley right there. So Rick got the first call, and I was hoping that he'd be retired enough to be able to go, but it's extremely difficult to be ready to go.
That
To
quick?
be gone for 12 days on 2 days notice.
Yes, it is.
But you never know.
I knew what day it was. I knew y'all were live, and like I said, the photographer Scott last year. He's been with me every time I've been to Africa, and he's going to go with me next year on the lion hunt. But last year we went, and he filmed that Cape Buffalo charging me. And after it was all said and done, I looked at him holding that camera, and I said, "If you got that on film, I'll pay for your trip." And he had it on film, but he wouldn't let me pay for his trip. And I tried and he wouldn't let me. And so for this hunt, he's writing a book about hunting with hounds and stuff, and it would be very interesting for him. And I called Gavin and said, "Gavin, I need you to call Scott and tell him that he can go for free, and I'll pay for it, and don't tell him." So because he wouldn't, being the guy that he is, he wouldn't let me.
Hey, where's Richard Fight?
Huh?
Where's Richard Fight? I don't see
I don't
him in
know.
here tonight.
Haven't seen him yet. He might know somebody. Where are they flying out of? Texas?
Well, the flight would just have to be changed to wherever they're at.
Yep.
The,
It'd be worth watching this show tonight.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I said, I don't expect to be able to find anybody that can make it, but Arizona Working Dog Alliance and Interview Stories and Tales get exclusive offers.
And you just found out a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I found out about 30 minutes ago that I wasn't going to be able to go.
Come on, Jared, just go.
I booked a hunt for Sarah.
Well, Cody will take Sarah.
It's in South Texas somewhere.
Where at in South Texas? Where are you going, Jared?
can't make his hunting trip.
We fly into San Antonio, and we're going 3 hours south.
Said
Somewhere
you're
in
coming to
San
my
Antonio.
house. What are you hunting?
Oh, she's
Neil
going
guy
for
or
black. No, she's going for a black buck, axis, and maybe an aoudad.
I mean, 3 hours south of San Antonio is my house.
Well,
So, I mean, you got to be right in this area somewhere.
You can go to your
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah. It
But-
that's pretty cool. I may
my
know where you're
buddy's
going.
got a lease down there somewhere, and I take him on lion hunts up here quite often, and he's like, "You guys need to come down there and go kill something." And my wife, she's like, "I'll fucking shoot whatever you ask me to." So
That's right. Well,
that's where we're going.
when you get down here, man, shoot me a text,
Okay.
and
send
maybe
you
we
his
can
number.
hook up for lunch or something,
Unless
or
you
maybe
have it.
maybe we go catch a bobcat or two while you're here.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if I left my house, I drive due north. It's about 3 hours and 15 minutes to San Antonio. So
Oh shoot.
you got to be right here by me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be pretty
I'll have to
cool.
look at the text real quick. 1 second. Let's see here. Where's
Start
this
coordinating
one?
with Gavin.
Madison, unfortunately,
You have to have
what'd
an
you say?
adult.
What'd you say, Chris, about Gavin?
No, best thing to do if somebody can go is to start coordinating with Gavin.
Yeah.
Rick Cooley.
Yeah. Madison, unfortunately, I don't think you meet the age requirement for this hunt yet, or else you'd be able to go.
I would take off the offer, but even if I did, I couldn't go because my mom wouldn't want to go, and
You mean
probably-
mothers don't want to just send their young daughters to Africa on a whim with someone they don't? What kind of mother do you have, Madison?
Oh my goodness.
Dustin
Yeah.
will go.
Hey, there's a ticket right there. Let's.
There's the man.
There you go, Dustin. Want to go to Africa Friday?
Hoo-hoo.
It's all
Yeah.
paid for.
Oh, I don't know, but I hate airplanes.
How long is the
long
flight,
sleep.
Cody?
That's a long one.
Man, I don't know this trip. I've always flown direct, which is about a 15-hour flight. But this year I flew through London.
Oh hell.
So it's a shorter flight. And then I booked a day over in London, and Scott was going to take me over to see some Englishmen dress up on horses and run fox around kind of deal. And but
You can get lost at Heathrow.
So what? There's something going on in Africa right now too, down there in Mombazwe or whatever. What is that? All the riots, the protests.
there's always riots and
That's
protests.
Well,
been going on for.
Yeah,
Well, no, there's
that's been going on for about 3,000 years.
no, I know, but they just had the election, right? They just had the elections, and now everybody's up in arms about it.
Yeah.
I just seen Robbie off Blood Origins post something, then I kind of looked it up, but dang it, Cody, dang it.
Well,
Yeah.
there's the offer if someone wants to try to go.
If I had a good passport, man. Golly.
Yeah, see, you got to have a passport too.
You quit your
If you
job,
could-
wouldn't you?
No,
If
you
you
damn
could
right
grow
I
your-
would. I'd quit my job
grow your
right
mustache.
now and get.
Grow your mustache, bleach your hair, cut it off, and I'll loan you mine.
Yeah.
I would too. I'd quit my damn job, go to Africa for 12 days and hunt with dogs. I can get another job.
It's leave Friday and then I would land back home on the 22nd.
Oh hell, I couldn't do that anyway. I fly out for damn Hawaii on 21st.
Yeah.
Hey, Hawaii's
And-
always
and-
going to
and-
be there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
I know.
I'm sure that it could be arranged very easily for someone to come home a day or two early, if
Yep.
they needed to. That wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Look at Derek.
Man.
Look at him. Look at Derek. Can I get a passport in 2 days?
Oof.
You
No.
can.
Just talk to my
You
mom.
can. How?
I did it.
How you
Yeah,
do it,
but
Jared?
he lives down there by the border. You can't use passport.
But
He
Yeah.
found
I
one in
went.
the desert.
My wife set it up. I went in, dropped my passport stuff off. I went in the next day and took my picture.
Don't mess with me. I'll go to the damn passport place in the morning at 5:30 or 6, whatever they open.
Remember, it's something like that. Like you have to do it before noon the first time. You have to get there before noon and take your picture. And then I think they make it and it's ready to go the next day. But you have to take your picture before noon.
Man, I've never heard of it doing that fast.
No, usually it takes like 3 months.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My wife did it because guess who messed up on the Mexico trip? So when I went to Mexico,
Hey, be
last-
careful. I've seen her walk behind you. She'll cuff you one with a frying pan.
Yeah, she will.
I hope she might
That's-
do him some good.
All right. I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get back on the road so we can get catfish.
Oh yeah, they're still on the road.
Gonna die.
They got to go catfishing.
Oh yeah.
That's a real thing. I can go to Tucson and get my passport in 24 hours.
I'm gonna go slay them catfish. See if my
Told you.
sister can stop getting.
All right,
nursery.
well, you take care of those
But I
two
really
dogs.
appreciate all of you guys and everything you're doing. I mean, I couldn't get as far as I am without you guys.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Thank you a lot. You know, I really do appreciate it. I mean, I
You just
can't
got to
really-
you got to do your part, Madison.
Oh yeah, and I am going to do my part and fill in where I need to and get these dogs out and count them up and see what
Yeah.
they and I can do.
Well, we'll see you in a couple months.
Oh yeah, in August I think I'll be moving there here to Arizona.
For sure. For
Oh yeah,
reals this time.
yeah, for reals this time, guys.
All right, Madison, you guys drive safe.
Yep. All right, we will.
See ya.
Alrighty.
See ya.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now the scramble is caused by Cody King.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to
Hey,
talk
well,
about bears and lions? We can talk about Africa hunting.
Well, no, but I want to hear about Cody went to outside of Tucumcari, New Mexico, in that
Oh yeah.
country that I've spent a lot of time in. Tell us about the country and everything that took place, Cody.
Man, it was some cool country. I went hunting out there with a guy named Joel Garnett last week, and really good guy. And the country was really cool. Everywhere that I've ever hunted in the mountains before, other than Colorado, really, there's greasewood flats, and there was no greasewood there, and there was grass there, and that was kind of strange to see, especially after being in Brett's country so much. But there was a lot of grass. It was very green. There was water everywhere, and lots of lions. We found scrapes, tons of scrapes. It was pretty unbelievable. And the first day we hit one cold line track. I had one dog bark one time. That was it. And then the second day we hit a track, and they started moving it pretty good, and them old running dogs went to pounding on it pretty hard. And when they can do that, it ain't no 2-day-old track. It's pretty fresh. Man, they got him jumped and went to baying on him and got him. He went off the rim down in a big old canyon, and he ended up getting in a big old boulder pile that had boulders the size of my pickup for about 50 acres all stacked on top of each other. And he never came out of there. He laid up in one of them boulders, and them South Texas dogs couldn't find him. And I was mad at him, and I said, well, he's going to come out of that boulder pile at some point in time. I'm going to go hunt around it tomorrow, and I'm going to catch him. So I didn't get to go to Benny's barbecue for that reason, and I hunted all around that boulder pile and never got a bark. So it, but had a good hunt. It was a lot of fun.
That country's pretty interesting. It's not so much mountains as just canyons and bluffs and rim rocks.
Yeah,
A lot of rocks.
yeah. But well, guys, my phone's gonna die. I've had a long day. I've been on the phone since about 8 o'clock this morning, so I got to get off the phone and go put it on the charger for a little while. But everybody, sincerely, if someone can make it, just shoot me a message on Facebook. Call your buddies, call your friends, call your cousins. The trip is going to happen. Scott is going. Gavin is going. The airplane is going. So I just won't be on it. So, but sincerely, if I know that's a lot to ask, to have a passport and be able to be gone for 12 days, and on 2 days notice, but it if there is someone out there that can make that happen, sincerely, it's not a, it's no skin off anybody's back. The money's been paid. The money will be lost. It's going to happen whether I go or not. So if somebody can make it, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask.
If I can convince the wife not to leave me if I quit my job and get this passport thing figured out, I'll get out of you.
Well, I can tell you, you're not going to get a passport in time. What Rick Cooley said is, yes, there are places that claim that you can get a passport in 24 hours, but it's not going to happen. And I don't know when you did that, but
Last summer.
I would bet a substantially large amount of money that it's not going to happen now. And I say that because I tried to get mine that way. And so number one, there's a bunch of places online that advertise it. And the way that, not that this matters and deserves going into a long talk, but the way that it's done is the government offers so many slots to be available for that reason. And there's these companies that if you Google that are advertising this stuff, that advertise, and if you Google it, you'll see it, get your passport in 24 hours. And those companies were automatically booking all of those spots way in advance so they would have them when somebody needed them. And the government put an end to that. They're no longer able to do that. And the only way that it can be done now is you have to call and you have to have your travel documentation showing that you're leaving the country sometime in the next 2 weeks. And then if there's an appointment available, which there won't be, you have to go to a passport center. And I offered to get on a plane to every U.S. passport center in the country, and I couldn't get an appointment. So in the last, 8-10 months, whenever it was, they changed the rules. They no longer let those companies book all those appointments in advance. You can get it expedited, and you may get lucky, and maybe you can. But I would bet a substantially large amount of money that you're not going to be able to do it. And like I said, and it's just because they changed that regulation. They no longer let those companies. Those companies would automatically book all of those appointments up, and then they would sell them for you if you needed a passport really quick. And the government put an end to that for some reason. They changed that deal, and that's no longer the case. So but it wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt a phone call if somebody wanted to try to do it. But But yeah, so I had lost my passport, and I was just trying to get my passport, a new one redone, and I almost had an appointment in Seattle, Washington. I was going to have to get on a plane and fly to Seattle to be able to go, and then it wasn't available. It's they had just changed that rule when I tried, so maybe that stuff settled down a little bit now, and maybe you can do it better. Very possible.
That's why everybody should just have a passport, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to have one before you all of a sudden need one. I think that happens to a lot of people. You don't think you're going to need a passport, and then Cody King jumps on a live and says, "Hey guys, I got to pay for."
Yeah.
And you think, "Damn, why don't I just have a passport?"
Yeah.
Do it now before you need one.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have one, but I don't ever leave the country.
That'll teach me.
Yeah. I mean, how much does it cost to get a passport?
$225.
Like $40. Yeah, it's not that.
$40 just normal. Go
No,
file.
225 to expedite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And the expedite, I don't know how fast it'll come. I know a friend of mine expedited his the other day, and I think he got it in about a week or 10 days. He wanted to go hunting down in Mexico with me, and he got his, but it was a renewal too. So a lot of that depends if it's a renewal or if it's the first time. There's a lot of different factors.
what is that noise?
Oh, my.
I don't know if it's Benny's phone.
No, I muted him. Hang on. I think it's Jared's vibrator. I don't know what that was. Sounded like a locust or.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's a good deal. Maybe someone.
I wish
will pop up.
I wish I'd have had more notice, guys. But I mean, as of 9:30 this morning, I was getting stuff ready so I could leave here Friday.
Well, I know. I was going to Texas this week for that building for Monday, and you said, "No,
Yeah.
wait till I get back." So then I made
Yeah.
other plans.
Yeah. So,
Son of a
And,
gun.
but anyways, ask around, let everybody know, and if someone can make it, it would sure be pretty cool.
What do you
Maybe.
think it's gonna like? Everything's paid for to get there and the hunt. What do you think it's gonna? How much spending money are you gonna need while you're over there? You imagine?
In theory, none.
Because
In
you're just
theory,
gonna
none.
eat there, stay there.
It's all inclusive meals, everything.
Damn,
It's done. Don't need a penny.
man! Once you said that, I got all giddy inside.
500
What's up,
bucks.
Vinny?
You need
About
$500. You need $500.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to tip somebody every now and then, and you switch the $500 over to the rand, and that's going to go a long way. What's the exchange right now, Cody?
I think like 20 or something like that.
There you go, 20 rand for $1. So you can
Yeah.
get by on $250 and treat everybody special.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Well,
guys,
we-
I'm on 1%. Let me let y'all go, but
We appreciate the
somebody-
offer, Cody.
spread the
So-
word. If somebody can make it, I'll check my messages in the morning.
Sounds good.
See you, Cody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks, Benny.
Holy cow, guys.
Did that get you? Did that get your heart kind of pumped up a little bit there?
Yeah, see
Broke my
Once
heart.
he said that, I was like,
that right there? There is a passport in there, but I don't have time.
your heart
That's
will
crazy.
be there when you get back. Maybe. Hey, what a place to have a heart attack and have it go bad, though, right?
No, it's because of the stupid insurance.
Oh
My-
yeah.
My appointments have to be annual, and they have to fall within a certain time frame.
People should be working on it too.
Yeah, that would be a good deal for Brett, but Brett doesn't like I
Travel.
don't know that he. Yeah,
Oof. I don't
and
know.
I don't think he'd want to be cooped up on an airplane with all those people.
It's first class. I've flown first
Yeah.
class. First class is nice.
Well, Cody has to fly first class because he's 6'4".
Yeah. Yep. Man, he just ruined the show. I just want to go
Man.
cry. I just want
Yeah.
to go to bed
Me
and
too.
cry. I'm
Me
gonna go
too.
watch YouTube African videos right now and just tell myself I'm a loser. I don't have a
And
passport.
I think that they even would supply rifles for you, so you don't have to go through all that headache just
Yeah.
spur of the moment. Isn't that right, Rick? Rick Cooley's still there.
Oh, Rick, he says he might be able to transfer that airplane ticket. The deal Cody had, BB, is if you have a passport and you can get to Texas by Friday,
Well,
you're going to go to Africa. Well, he could maybe change the flight.
you can, yeah, just yeah. You'd
And
have
it
to
could
go
probably be
somewhere.
changed till Saturday. Like he said, he could probably push it off a day. But there you go, Jeremy. Jeremy, you got a passport? Well, anyways, the
Yeah.
deal was he was supposed to go to Africa Friday, and I know because I was talking to him yesterday, and I was going to go to Texas this weekend and get on a job, and then he said, "No, wait till I get back. I'll be gone in like 12 days." And 45 minutes ago, he found out he can't go to Africa, so everything's paid for.
And he can't get his money back.
First class. First class. That's like the best part of it right there. I don't know if anybody's flown first class, but it's no joke. You got room. The seats recline for reals.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
lay down. I don't know where he's flying out of in Texas, but I always flew direct from where did I fly from? Atlanta to Johannesburg. It's a 20-hour flight. So
What do you say he's hunting?
He's hunting jackal and caracal.
Yeah.
He's gonna go with 2-3 packs of dogs and hunt all kinds of things. So,
no leopard.
No leopard. Yep. Dang.
But any of those long flights, anytime you go across the ocean like that. Oh, no. This one, he said he's got it booked to go to London. So that'll
he's going to
shorten.
London for.
It'll make 2 jogs and it'll shorten the flight. But Heathrow is the world's largest airport, and you can get lost in that pig.
Yeah. Well, it's like jackal and caracal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And your hunt will be filmed for free from that young man from England.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. Man. Out of 60 people, there's no one that has a passport that can leave.
I have a passport, but I can't leave.
I know that's kind of everybody's. Anybody who has
I can leave, but I ain't got a passport.
Well, hell, you better grow a big red beard and shave off all that hair.
Oh! Would you shave your head to go to Africa?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, look, Brett has a passport.
There you go. Come on.
Yep. There you
Call
go.
Cody.
Go film me.
Cody. There you
He's
go.
closer. He's close to Texas.
And that first class, the people aren't crowded in as tight, Brett.
There you go.
Lots of room.
Do it.
Yeah, at least if Brett goes, we get to watch it later.
Yep. 12 days of filming. That's 4 or 5 videos.
Man, that's a deal.
Yeah, yes.
Couldn't bring a mule. Well, maybe they could get him a zebra saddle.
I was gonna say they got some zebras over there.
They do got some good horses over there.
Mm-hmm. They just ride them little weird saddles, is all. The kind that don't hurt your vagina bone.
I did see some fellas riding some old AP cavalry saddles. Them things are comfy though. That slung seat. You ride that sucker all day.
Speaking, Rowdy's mule is an awesome mule.
Because it didn't buck you off?
No, because you could walk that thing up, and it would see a rock ledge as high as his neck, about middle of his neck. he didn't care. Wham! I mean, he had to hold on a little bit, but he'd go up, jump up, and keep going. I mean, that thing was literally a rock crawler.
Tell us about. Damn, it's already been an hour.
Yep. Hour of
Holy cow.
heartbreak.
Literally ruined our night with that crap, Cody.
But
Man.
Gosh, dang! I have a passport. Got to go to DC to host a National Police Dog Forum. You don't think they'd understand?
Yeah.
Every one of those guys would probably take that. Oh
Man.
boy, what an opportunity!
Yes,
what an
yeah.
opportunity!
Yeah, that's wild.
I'll be surprised if he don't get somebody, but
That's
the hard part is just the 12 days. You know, if it was like 4 or 5 days, I'd be gone.
No, I've been over there for 10 days at a time, and when you're there, and I
It
wasn't
just
hunting
goes.
when you, yeah, and you just wish you had another month.
Oh, I believe that. I'm just saying being gone for 12 days from what I got going on is just ain't gonna work. But
Just pretend that you died and you're in the hospital.
There's 60 people right now in this world that's had an
Cool.
opportunity to go to Africa for free.
everybody's contemplating.
And not
their
even
life
what's
decisions.
yeah, not even what's gonna watch it tomorrow. I'm usually like 300, 400, 500 views. So somebody's gonna reach out, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna go to a podcast, and I'm gonna get a bunch of texts. Hey, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So wait,
Yeah.
what is today? We gotta say you have to be to Texas with a passport by Friday. I don't even know what
The
today's
9th.
date is.
today's
Is
the
it the
7th.
9th? Yep,
Yeah.
the 9th. April, what is it, May already?
Yeah, it's May.
It is.
When you don't have a job, you don't work, you like your dates. May 9th, 2025, guys. If you're listening to this on a podcast, too late. Too late. Sorry. You should have listened to us live every Wednesday night. This is the reason right now. You know, and what's funny is if he would have known, if we would have known, if he would have found out at noon and not 6 o'clock, I could announce that free giveaway tonight. And we could have raffled that off quick. If we can sell 20 tickets for a Garmin for $50, I guarantee we could sell 50 tickets for $100
Oh, hell
for an
yeah.
Africa trip. That's not a $4,000 trip like we talked to Ken Moody about.
No.
This is thousands and thousands, 20, 30. I don't even know how, first class. What's the first class ticket running? $5,000?
6
Maybe
or 7 at least.
I don't know. Yep. I'm trying to find a veteran to send. Oh,
That'd be cool.
yeah. Sonny was supposed to get on the night, but he might know somebody.
I already texted everybody I knew.
I
See
know.
what they
It's like, damn. So if you didn't listen tonight, guys, this is why you should listen to us live, because you never know when you're going to get a full paid hunt. Full paid hunt to Africa.
That's wild. That's just absolutely wild.
Mhm.
That's unheard of.
Hmm.
I almost fell out of my chair right here, and I thought, well, I can't make it.
Mhm. Dude, once he said that, like, I got butterflies. I was like, that's like he just said, you can go. Here, Chris, you're going to Africa, which he did. I don't have a passport either. But why don't we have passports? You have to have a passport or a certified driver's license or ID now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
To get on an airplane.
Yep.
Just to get on an airplane, you have to, yeah. So if you don't have a passport, go spend $40 and let it take 2 or 3 months, just in case Cody don't get to go in February as well.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to have to watch this show every Wednesday to find out if he's going to be
Yeah,
able to go or not.
Never know when Cody King's going to give away the trip of a lifetime and break your heart.
Boy, man. Anyway. Jared, tell us about your little mule adventure with Rowdy Dog.
we just walked around the mountains with mules and horses. That
All right,
was
you're
it.
done. You're done.
We
Let's go
didn't-
back to Africa.
Right? We didn't get a bark, nothing.
Hmm.
We put 15 miles on for 2 days.
And you're
2 miles a day.
in Nevada.
Yep,
Yeah, you guys got some rain.
we
Yes or no?
did.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been here 10 days and it's rained 4.
Wow.
You've been there 10 days and you're telling me to find houses already up here where I'm at.
I know.
Time to get out of Nevada.
Yep. No, it was good country. We found a couple old scratches, mudded up female scratch, but that was it. But Rowdy's mule, I will give that mule props.
And that's
That
the
was
one
fun.
someone gave him.
Yeah, it was a pack mule. That's all it was. It was a pack mule. Never been ridden.
Does it rain pretty good, or you have to kind of plow rain them pretty hard?
No, she ran just fine. The only part that made me mad is she would do big zigzags coming downhill.
Oh,
Like, I'm talking 12, 15, not feet, but like almost 10 yards one way and then 10 yards the other way. And it's like, no, you're fine. Just shorten it up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, shoot, dude, you could walk up and, like I said, hit a rock pile up to her chest and she'd take it. And then I came off. I jumped down in this wash. It was about, I don't know, 8-10 foot drop off. And I looked at Rowdy and I was like, she wants to go off right here. And he's like, let her. And I was like, as long as you say that, I'm good with it. And I let her off, dude. Her tail was tickling the back of my neck. You lean back so far, you know. But
I remember I was down in Unit 27, and my cousin was on my dad's horse, one of his horses, and I was on Ike. I rode Ike for 25 years, and we was coming down the hill, and I'm just used to it. You know, when you're used to it, I turn and I'm like, I don't want to go around. I'm gonna drop down, and it was so steep though that the horse kind of sit down on its butt and kind of slide down. And I look over, same thing. My cousin was leaned way back, you know, and that horse was like sliding on its butt down. I said, well, as long as he has that stopping power, you're all right. If not, just slide off and let the horse go. You know, I'll tell you a story right here real quick too. Chris's little twin girls are pretty brave on riding horses. So I had everybody out back and my kids were in the house. And they're like, where's the crew? I said, they're messing around the house. Well, then they heard us riding horses. So all my kids run out, my twins. And the little girls, Wayne's all, hey, you want to ride one? And they're like, yeah, you know. And so they both jumped on Ruth, the one mule, and riding around. And Wayne's talking to him. He says, oh, you guys, you like riding these horses? You're like, yeah. He goes, you ride them a lot? Yeah, we ride them all the time, every day we can. You know, and he goes, well, you like riding? He goes, yeah, we ride them every day because we're not pussies. Wayne fell down. So, yeah. I go, which one said that? That one? That one right there? He goes, yeah, you must know your kids. I said, yeah, that's Avery. She don't mess around. That's a hunt of a lifetime, yep. Good evening, all. Minx 95, you want to go to Africa? For only $500 right now, we'll send you to Africa.
All expense paid. That's it.
All expenses paid. Yep. It's just a $500 donation fee.
3 days of hunting. Well, numerous days of hunting behind hounds.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's 12 days he's over there. So you figure a couple days probably
travel.
Mm-hmm. You come back on the 22nd, but you have to have a passport, Minx. You got to be to Houston, Texas by Friday. Just in from feeding the dogs. Jim Nanny, for $500, we'll send you to Africa. Actually, it's going up. It's going up as it goes. You just have to have a passport. Oh, boy.
Yeah, all expenses paid.
How do you talk about anything else when you have someone that gives you offers to it, the first come, first serve? Anybody that has the opportunity. There got to be somebody out there.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep good tonight. I think I'll just stay up and drink coffee.
Probably have to go beat my wife just because.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Cody. I thought we were pals.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty. That's about as low as you can get.
Do you realize that in all the times that I have seen Derek on this program, he has never been this quiet?
He's on the phone trying to get a passport as we
Benny,
speak.
don't ruin it, Benny.
Yeah. he is trying.
Yeah. My hell, Benny. Way to step on the elephant in the damn room.
He
You know,
he has 3 kids. He can trade one of them for a passport, and that's what he's trying to find right now.
I'm about this close. I'm gonna tell you that right there. I've been doing some conversing in the other room.
I know. I hear you mute and telling your wife, "Hey, baby, hey, baby, listen. This
She
is for
said-
AWDA. This is for nonprofit cause. I
She
have
said
to go
go.
represent."
Oh, she said go.
Go, man. You should.
So
Yeah.
what are you waiting on?
Someone
you want
has to go.
Do you need Cody's phone number?
I'll have to get it from Chris. I'll do some talking.
Look at him.
I
Now,
have my passport.
if
My
he
my
Irishes
only,
out in the next 20 minutes, we know where he's going.
my only big issue is business and family that's coming to visit. But
They'll
Tell him I'll
Hey,
see you next time.
All right, wait. Are they in-laws?
my dad,
Damn it.
that's a hard one,
That's a tough one.
especially where I lost my
Say,
mom.
Dad, I love you.
I
I'll
was
stop
gonna-
at your house on the way back. I'll bring you
Yeah, I was
pictures.
gonna say you just lost your mom. So, man, did your dad have a passport?
He probably does, but getting that man on a 15-hour airplane ride.
Ooh. First class is way different. I'm gonna tell you
Just
guys.
tell him you're going to breakfast, and then just drive to Phoenix Airport. Be like, the best breakfast is on the inside.
I guarantee you I'm going to get a text from Benny here in about 2 seconds. He's got his phone out.
Boom.
Look, Jeremy said that Derek's looking for a red hair dye right now.
Hey, we're about the same size, man. We're both down here at Hobbit level. I can go get me one of those little beard kits right now at the costume store, and I'll be Dustin Clark.
Tim is not wrong. She did say go and stay. I mean, really, she told me the only thing that's holding me back is me, and it's
The only
because
thing holding her back right now is she has to wait for she's on her computer right now trying to get life insurance for cross seas is what she's doing.
Oh, she's got it. She's got enough that she could kick me in a river and she'd be better
Oh,
off
that's
the
why
rest of her
she's
life.
like, go.
So did you get the contact information?
I did. I'm gonna have to disappear here for a minute.
So adios. What the hell are you doing? Go.
I'll see if I come back.
There you go. Listen to Benny.
Man,
Listen to Benny.
All right, I won't Irish goodbye. I'm just gonna peace out for a minute.
we'll see you back in this view.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh man, I hope he goes. I hope somebody
do
goes.
too.
That is a waste. That is just
The opportunity of a lifetime for anybody that's interested in hunting.
I'll be honest. If I had my passport, I could go probably if I had my passport.
Son,
I'm gonna
my
get
job
my-
is a joke. If I had my passport, I would have already been like, I'll take it, Cody. I'll get a new
Half
job.
of-
Screw this
Half
job.
of my
You know,
stuff.
Derek would already be hitchhiking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think I got enough gas to get to Houston, and then I get paid on Friday. So by the time I get back, I'll have enough gas to get home.
What cry too? I think there's a lot of people crying on here right now.
I'm
70 people, and no one can go to Africa for free.
Except for Dustin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got it.
I hope
Hopefully
he goes.
Yeah, I hope
Hopefully
he goes.
You know, his business is doing good. His dad, he just lost his mom. His dad's coming in. But if I was a dad, and my son
I'd
said
say-
I'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Your mom would want
See
you
you.
to do that, you know.
I'll see you when you get back. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because who has 20 grand to go do that? I guarantee you that's what it costs.
Yeah, every
I
bit
bet
of
you
$10,000.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
more because the last
Well, he
time
knows Gavin. I'm sure he got a good deal or whatever. But Cody don't like to take those deals either.
Nah, Cody would pay him full price, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's solid. Cody's solid.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Yep. I would be, but that's the only way I would get on a. Oh, that's what volume's for.
Yep.
Xanax.
You know what?
They make lots of these
Next.
cool little pills that make you go night-night for 20 hours.
You know what? I should get my youngest son to fly over to, let's see, what's the closest deal to Young? Snowflake.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's already been to Snowflake once, but if I could get him to come over there in August and we could get Jeremy all lit up and he could come too in a little plane, he'd feel much safer in a big plane after that.
Oh, yeah. Those little planes are like driving a cardboard box through a windstorm. Turbulence is no
exactly
joke. When they drop 10
Yep.
feet for no reason.
10. Yeah,
Well,
10 would be good.
30.
I've flown before, don't like it. I don't like flying. My theory in life is I wasn't born with gills and I wasn't born with feathers. I was born with legs. I was
I
born with
love
legs.
flying, man. I love flying planes, but not helicopters. Helicopters are a damn death trap.
Will they let you take a parachute on?
On a
You know, I
commercial
guess-
plane?
Yeah, carry
What?
on.
No.
What you put in your carry-on backpack is
Yeah,
your business.
yeah.
What?
As long as it
Yeah,
fits.
maybe.
Long as it fits.
Oh, crop dusters. Let me tell you something about crop dusters. There's a guy in Stanfield, Arizona. And if that guy, he had a two-seater. He had an old two-seater he turned into. I'm going to tell you what. I don't care how strong your stomach is. Your stomach was coming out of either your butthole or your mouth. One way or the other. Something was coming out of somewhere. And that guy did that whole dumb go up and like, oh, it stalled. And fall. And
I
get
love
back
it.
on.
love
Oh,
it.
boy. Yeah. That guy make you have vertigo. You get out and you had vertigo for days and days after that. You couldn't walk straight.
Just take the vertical till she shits and just let her fall out. I
Oh.
love it.
Suit as a carry-on.
I'll be darned. I wouldn't think they would let you have it.
I get, it's almost like a red flag. Why would you want? But me, man, when those planes go down, they go down. There is no gliding. They say a helicopter floats more than a plane will.
No. A plane is designed to fly. So as long as there's air passing, it will give you lift. A helicopter, they can
Rotors are
crash.
turning.
Yeah, but they can
That's all
crash
gear
them.
driven.
But yeah, if you have catastrophic engine failure in a rotary wing, you're gonna spin your way to the ground and hit like a damn brick. But you can shut off a plane and you can glide her and you land hard, but they don't just nose out of the sky, even the big ones.
Man, there's a video where the guy floated his helicopter down. So maybe his rotor was still working in the back.
No,
It can be
condition.
done, but they typically wreck hard, man.
You hit the ground about 30 miles an hour.
Ooh, and that's hitting the ground at 5 miles an hour will break your spine.
Well, yeah. Especially when you're not 15 anymore.
Oh.
DB Cooper got that law passed. Sold my Mooney 2 years ago. I miss it, but
Oh, you had a Mooney? Oof. Nice.
what's a Mooney?
That's
That
a single.
helicopter?
Like that.
Yeah, it's a single engine prop plane.
Oh.
The split tail. Yeah, they're cool.
Fishing in Canada a week after I got back, the plane and pilot that were in it went down. Ooh.
Oh, dang. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to jump out of it. I wouldn't want to jump out of a 737 though, boys. That would be you gonna hit something and not make it. That's gonna be a bad jump. It ain't like you can
As
go
long
out
as you're behind the wing, you're all right, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, and you can't jump at 40,000 feet with your naked face. You'll die.
Yeah.
You can't breathe up there, and you'll fall for 3 minutes
But
before you get.
But
into
you ain't
breathing
staying
air.
at 40,000 feet if you're going down.
Well, yeah, but then who's to say that you're crashing good? You get into a spin or something. I wouldn't want to do that.
You know, guys, every single day, thousands of people die in automobiles. But since that's part of our everyday life, we don't think about it. But
They
if
say
you're
there's more
around,
deaths
yeah,
automobiles than planes.
I'll
if
tell you
you're
what,
around airplanes all
you
the time,
gonna
that's not that big a deal.
yeah, you gonna die whenever you're gonna die. Worrying about it just makes you have less fun. I reckon just send it.
Stall speed on a Mooney is 70 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a fast plane.
Yeah.
My buddy had a Cessna and he flew back to Kentucky from Arizona. He said he'd run out of gas and land in fields, run across, get some gas, and get back up in the air.
Yep.
And then one of my doctor buddies that delivered my fourth kid. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
You got 11.
Fifth kid. I think it's the fifth one. Yeah, fifth one. He had the PTSO or what is it? Short takeoff. The short, you only needed like 300 feet.
Yeah, STOL, short
Yeah.
takeoff and landing.
So he could land in my front yard because I had a field out there. And then, he'd take off. It just 300 feet is nothing, so.
100 yards.
Benny, you can sell the tickets for the fight that would take place after the flight with your son and raise money.
I'll just have him do some of this on the way back in, or Jeremy, he'll get out and just get on his hands and knees and kiss the dirt.
What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Bush pilots are awesome. I'm sure they are.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
my son flew out of Juneau, Alaska until
That's cool.
recently. He changed and took a job in Cortez, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
What was he flying? Like a 207, 208?
Yeah, he flew everything. He flew little planes, he flew big planes. Yeah, he had to fly some of those 207s and 208s, but he was flying a Kodiak before that, and now he's flying a Pilatus PC-12, which is the ultimate turboprop airplane.
Well,
See how Cody got us so off track?
I know.
That we're talking about airplanes.
I don't even want to, how do you beat a free trip? How do you beat a free trip to Africa?
I think our little Irish buddy, he's on his way to Houston right now.
He's
I don't think he's coming back. I think he's trying to figure it out.
He's talking to his dad. He's telling his wife, start packing stuff. What if I got to make sure? Hey, make sure you don't have any spent rounds or don't take your knife because they'll take it away. But there's all sorts of stuff to take place in the next day and a half.
Well, he has most of it. He has his passport. Now, he needs to find out if Cody, if he can transfer that plane ticket, which I don't see why he couldn't, because I'm sure Cody has lots of credit with flying.
I wonder who he booked with. I can't remember. He said he told us who he usually books with, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I always went with Delta, and I had so many Delta miles at one point. I could fly wherever I wanted for free.
What else is going out there in the boring world now, guys?
Man,
we're all just thinking about Africa. We're just all thinking about Africa.
Living our everyday lives doesn't compare anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
By talking about it, you beat it to death. Yes, we do. And we're going to beat this dead horse for the next 5-6 episodes until somebody comes back and we get them on the show and tells us how stupid we are for not having passports.
Yeah.
Period.
Man.
Hopefully I get to go see Cody next week. That'd be cool.
I was going there this weekend to look at a job, to watch him put a job together. You know what I'm talking about. So, but he was leaving for Africa. But I don't know if I can. Now I made other plans for the hound trials, you guys, which is going to be, we actually have to, let me just announce this real quick. The hound trials Oh, do I have a banner up here for the hound trials? The dates? Probably not. I don't feel like trying to get them on. The hound trials, all the dates are the same, but they're logging where we used to do it. So this weekend, I'm going to go help them trail out for the tracks to do the drags. We have to do a new drag system over there. So I have to run over there, and it's a little bit closer to Winslow, but it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know if any of you guys, I didn't do hound trials because I hated people, but it's not bad. And I have to help in June. So it's May 31st, June 1st. Oh, man, I'm going to have to send that to me. But let me just tell you the dates. Let me look it up. But I know we're changing. Where in Texas does Cody live?
He lives southeast.
Brownsville or above there. What is that? Markets? Gosh,
Yeah,
he's
by
an hour
Brownsville.
out of Brownsville. I think maybe north because I know where he lives. Let me see. Like McAllen? No, wait. Where am I going here? He's somewhere around McAllen, somewhere around there. So I was just going to drive over there, take a weekend and go stay a couple days, watch them do this thing they're doing, and then come back. Did he say cervix cat that worked the savannah and the trees?
No,
They worked the savannah and the trees. No.
Caracal.
So anyways, the hound trials, let me get back to that. Man, I just keep thinking of freaking Africa. Damn it. Maybe we should just Irish this show and just go. Just boop, end. I even got a good ending for you guys that I just made. Let me see. Not made. Can we make fun of the guy that says to throw a pine cone at a bear? Is that too political to talk about?
That's even more stupid than carry a can of mace and spray some pepper on him.
Let
The
me
only
tell you.
thing that stops those bears is a big, heavy bullet.
Yes. So my son had a nuisance bear. It was getting into people's trash. And so they went and set a trap for him. And he would get there, and that bear, like he literally called me. He's like, this bear's like 20 yards away. Or I seen the bear. I think he was telling me first. He goes, yeah, the bear. I'm like, what do you mean the bear? You seen it? He goes, yeah, it's like 40 yards away. He was throwing rocks and pieces of wood at it. And the bear was just like, what do you do? What? And the people, and this is what we're dealing with. The people there are like, oh, don't be mean to the bear. And my son's kind of like, hey, like you kind of got to be mean and haze him out of here. You don't want him, they all love it. They all love it. It's over there. It's like Greer. It's kind of like a mini California. It's most people's second homes. You know what I mean? So, but this bear, he was getting 20 yards from it. Literally, it's in the trash can 20 yards away. And it wouldn't leave. It wouldn't leave. So, here we go. So the Arizona Hound Trials for the Central Arizona Trail Hound Association is May 31st, June 1st, June 28th and 29th. I feel like she changed that date. July 26th, 27th, and August 16th and 17th. June 28th. Let me double check that. She texted me today. Where you at, Autumn? I swear she told me a different date for the June one. So there's two kind of in June. Let me double check. Because I got a bike rally to do in June 22nd. But anyways, we got a new area we'll be going to. So if anybody's going to that, let me know, and I'll be posting it. So, and I'll find out about the dates. But we do got new areas.
Nice.
But anyways, bear season has changed in Arizona. Someone was telling me it's archery. They're getting rid of some deer hunts. I haven't looked at the regs too much lately, or since they just came out.
Yeah, I
But
haven't
they're
seen the
doing
new
something.
ones.
There's no I don't think there's no over the counter maybe in 27 or something. So you guys
I
might
think
want
they're
to
doing
check
away with the rut hunt.
That's what it sounds like, over the counter, right?
Yeah.
And then the archery. He was telling me something about archery in 27, and I know Unit 1 is going to be archery instead of rifle now. Me and Jared talked about that today.
Yep.
You know,
So the bear hunt's going to be archery or the deer hunt?
So usually it starts 2 weeks of rifle, and I think because they shot 14 bears in 3 days, shut it down for the year. They're going archery, but it's either gonna put more houndsmen out there, and then we'll get blamed for it.
Or they're not even allow hounds out there in August.
Well, they will this year. This year they will, because it's already in the books. But next
But it's
year,
archery only with hounds?
the only time you can't use hounds in Arizona on bear is the spring hunt.
Are they talking about taking the dogs away?
I haven't heard nothing.
Oh, okay. It's like I heard the other way a little bit.
I've heard whispers of pursuit season. So when a unit closes, which I absolutely agree with that.
100%.
So, and I thought Sonny was going to be on, but we were talking about how can you clear up kind of the hound thing too. Like kind of what Nevada's going through, and and I think if because of this archery season, they might have, they're gonna check you for guide license, and they're gonna see who you're working for. This is what I think, because if you have a big guide out there that was spot and stalking, and now he has to fill those tags with hounds, he's gonna have more houndsmen out there, and I don't think all of them have a permit. It's what it is. It's the forestry permit. So, man, Jim's bringing it back. It's well worth your time. I recently went to St. Jude, the world's largest coon hunt, where a 10-year-old won the tree contest. You couldn't help. Oh, it's talking about the hound trials. Ours aren't that big. We literally have 20, 30 people there. It's just, it's really small. We have a lot of kids. And I think the hound trials are great we'll probably take even 2 vehicles this year, because a lot of my son's friends want to come and go. And I got some easy dogs that probably won't run the trails too bad, or, they're not they're real gentle out there. They don't want to run those too much. So they can handle those dogs and just get the feel of it. And it just gets the youth out. So I think those hound trials are great for taking your neighbor's kid. You know what I mean? It's a kind of a non-aggressive sport. So,
You don't wear a little kid out either.
No, you sit at the line, and they blow the whistle. You run up the hill, where our original spot is. You run up the hill to the other tree. They run around half mile, whatever it is. And they get to the tree. And you run up the hill. It's probably about 300 yards, 400 yards maybe. So pretty good deal. So, but I think we're going to have a good bear season, because they're already nuisancing up. So
ready. Let's go. Well, I'm ready. I ain't got the dogs for it, but
you don't need dogs to run bears. You just
I got three. I got 3.
You don't need good dogs to run bears.
I ran a bear up a tree. Yeah, I ran a bear up my tree by myself. So I don't know what's holding you young guys back.
It was me, Elizabeth, and Cody Lynn, and we ran this bear for miles and miles, like 7 miles. This bear and he wasn't even running. He just walking through, and I catch him crossing road, back and forth. Got to the point where this bear knew he was going to wear them dogs out. And we got up, seen that bear cross the road, and we jumped out, yelling at the bear. And he finally went up a tree because of us. He didn't care about them dogs, But That's the bear that I punched in the butt. He tried to come out, and I punched him in the butt, and he went back up the tree. So probably get a ticket for that. But that was 15 years ago. Cat, what is it? Oh, caracal. Caracal is one wild African cat. It'd be a crazy hunt.
Isn't that the one that has the little tufts of hair on his ears, real pointed ears?
Yeah, I think so.
Real
They're
long.
kind of
big.
built. Yeah,
Yeah,
built for
they're
speed.
tall. Mhm.
Nevada
To
is the
my
hardest
understanding, they-
state to get a guide license I've came across, and Jared won't get my number from Chris and call me so I can ask him some questions. Damn it!
Nevada's the easiest guide test to take. It's 20 questions.
Yeah, I think Alaska's the hardest one. It takes 10 years.
Now, there's a difference in Nevada. You have outfitter and you have sub guide. Or you have master guide and sub guide. You have to guide for someone in Nevada for 3 or 5 years in Nevada as a sub guide before you're allowed to put in for your master guide.
Well, Dustin, are you packed?
And then
Not
you
quite
have to
yet.
get BLM permits. Forestry permits are different in Nevada. You have to buy those, like in Colorado, Montana, Idaho. You just don't go and put in for them. You have to buy those permits from another outfitter that's already in there.
Yeah,
So
I honestly think Arizona, you can just get your guide license, and that's probably you just go take a 50 question test. But like as a private investigator, you either have to be law enforcement or you have to work for somebody for 6,000 hours.
Yep.
Which is 3 years. I think they should do that for guides too. I really do.
I don't care. I worked for a guy for 4 years before I became.
Yeah,
started
I mean,
my own business, but
I didn't have to, and I wouldn't like it, but I think you should have to at least a year, 18 months, something.
Yeah.
To be fair, and if you're out of state, you have to work for an in-state guide for a year or two, whatever they decide. So, I mean, and then like with the Nevada situation, I don't think it should be a draw. I don't like that, but I think I was talking to Sonny about it today, and I think we were talking about how maybe it has to be you fill out a permit to kill a lion, and every time you do that, you have to fill out another one. So you have to check the line, fill out the paperwork.
Well, the problem is the
people that's not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that don't matter what you do, whether you got draw or not. You're telling me there's exactly 75 people in Idaho that's the only that has running hounds.
We all know this. I thought we weren't going to get into this today.
Oh, this ain't politics. This is just personal hunting stuff.
So I'm going to hear what Dustin's going to take with him to Africa.
There's a few details we got to wait till the morning to find out for sure. But if those details work out, yeah, I'll probably be going.
I hope you can
So-
go, man.
Do you want to come over to my house and drink coffee with me all night?
Yeah. Yeah, I got to give him a call in the morning once he makes a few phone calls, and we'll go from there.
Sweet.
But
yeah. But what happens? You get like Unit 1. You come in, no matter who kills them, it don't matter. They're shutting down a unit in 3 days, so something has to change right away. Now, if it took 2 weeks or 4 weeks to shut a unit down for the year, that's a different story.
yeah.
That's 4 sows a week, whatever. The problem with the archery, I think there's only a 2 sow limit. I don't get that. I haven't really read through. I should have read through it today. I was busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, so
Hey.
one thing I was talking with about some other people about this stuff is, so you look at like Nevada, they have no way of knowing how many houndsmen are hunting in the state and how many out-of-state houndsmen are coming in because there's no hound permit. Same with Arizona, right?
yeah,
We don't have a hound permit, so they have no data to kind of go to the Fish and Game, which is part of their problem, which is why I think some of what they're doing is why they're doing it. But
Yeah.
they have no data to say, hey, there's this many guys coming in from out of state doing this. They just know that, because like in Nevada, you can have 6 houndsmen in one truck with one tag. You know, and whether everything's legal after that's a whole different story. So, and so in Arizona, yeah, you have to have a kill tag to run, or I think they also sell like that lion pursuit only, right? If I read the regulations right.
Yeah, after you kill, you
Yeah.
can go buy a $10 pursuit tag.
So not that I want houndsmen to have more fees and stuff like that, but man, it would be good to know how many guys from out of state are coming into your state and how many guys from in-state are hunting with hounds, even if they don't kill. Because you can buy a lion tag. Anybody can buy a lion tag, so you can't judge it off of that. So like a hound hunter permit in every state would be a good metric.
Absolutely.
I think they can do it even easier. They send us out those postseason surveys. They need to do like Alaska does for their harvest ticket hunts. If you don't fill out the survey, you can't get another tag for 3 years. So
Very
make
possible.
it mandatory. Yeah,
But
also they already have the vehicle in place. I think it would be easy to make it a mandatory thing.
But why not do like and this is just me spitting out numbers, like Utah's pursuit permit was $30 and you could go chase. You didn't have to carry a kill tag. You could just go chase lions for $30. You could just go chase bears for $30 and not have to have a kill tag. So if you do that, I like the fact that if they could allocate that money, because it's coming in from houndsmen, to go towards bear and lion studies, to go towards things that help houndsmen, because we're the one paying for it. Because a guy that hunts a deer has to buy his hunting license and still has to buy an out-of-state deer tag. So an out-of-state guy that wants to come run in Arizona should still have to buy his hunting license, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to buy an out-of-state hound hunter permit.
I think the hound hunter permit is just great, just to, like you said, for data. Period.
For data.
Like it.
And so I think from what I've kind of conversed with some guys from Nevada, and that where they're at now and where they started is a whole different world from what I've come to find out. And I'll leave that for them to come out with. But it sounds like that's kind of a direction that they are going to have to start with before they can do something different. Is you have to have a hound permit first before you can start to limit other things. And that's what Idaho started with first. Idaho had a hound handler permit, and then Idaho went to limiting out-of-staters. When Washington and Oregon shut down, they saw a huge flood come in. And Minx is out of Utah. They still have pursuit permits for bear. Lion, I don't think you have to have anything, so it doesn't.
I think it's just a hunting license for lion, isn't it?
Yeah, but bears, anyone in state or out of state can just go buy a bear pursuit permit and go chase, unless you're an out of stater. You cannot do that on the big 3 units. There's 3 units that they kicked out of staters out of and made it so they have to draw just to go chase because those units got so flooded.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to be said about a hound handler permit and given the option to just chase. Like, I'd love to have a bear pursuit season in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
The Fish and Game our Fish and Game has been good about hounds. They like the tools, the selective harvest with it, but man, it's hard to make good bear dogs on such limited seasons.
Yep.
Especially when they close down in 3 days.
Yeah. And so there, like in Unit 1 last year, if they had a pursuit like you do with the lions after, you could have taken all the guys that are, that don't care, that aren't out there to kill a bear. They just want to go run. Guess what? They can go hunt in Unit 1 when it's shut down and not flood these other units where guys are still trying to harvest, and not make it so conglomerated. That way we can still stay spread out. Because I guarantee you, if Unit 1 has good bears and I ain't looking to kill, and it's shut down from all the people that have tags, I'm going to go hunt there.
Yep.
Why would I want to go?
So do you think they just
race?
Started out big and said, let's just hit it here, and then, oh look, we're giving in. We get it. We're going down. You know what I mean? Like when you sell a car, $2,500, even though you only want 15, because they'll talk you down to $2,000.
As far as what? Like, what are you
like?
referencing
Hey, we want
there?
we want 40 tags, only 40 people to hunt here. Because they started with 20, then they said 40. So you think they just came in hard like that so they could be talked down?
No, I think they just kind of, well, they took some information in from a couple other states that they talked to. But I think they just, because, you know, they kind of modeled it off of what Idaho and both Montana do. Both of them, you have to draw to hunt out of state with hounds, except for there's a couple units in Idaho that out of staters can go pursue. They're not the best units to hunt. It'd be like hunting sheep country in Nevada, you know,
Yeah.
rougher units that aren't as good conditions. So I think they just, I mean, there's no playbook on how to go about doing that. And so I think when they first just got into it, they weren't quite ready for everything that was coming. Could be, could not. But I think they've just, along the way, they've heard insights from a lot of people and learned a lot along the way. And I think it's still going to eventually be a draw, and it's going to get used as a management tool as well. Whereas, like, because if you can say, well, all right, in these eastern units, we're going to limit the out-of-staters more than they are in the sheep units. Then
Yeah, I think quotas per unit is a really good idea that every state should have.
well, I don't even think they're not talking about lion quotas. They're talking about if these eastern units are getting hammered and the lions are getting hammered there by out-of-staters, they would change the number of out-of-staters that can hunt those units and give more opportunity in different areas of the state. Does that make sense?
Same as what
Yeah,
you
I just wonder if they're going to do it for if they're just going to limit non-resident tags in this unit period, which I could support that makes sense. But if they're only limiting hound handler permits in these units, it's the original issue that I had with it in the first place. You can still hunt that unit as an out-of-stater as long as you hire a guy, which doesn't sound like management. That sounds like money. You know what I mean?
Well, so the original proposals, they've changed them a lot from what I understand, and now it's moved on to a TAC committee, which is a tactical writing committee, where that now they have the opportunity to tweak and manipulate it to be better or worse in different areas and make it a more all around better thing, is the way it sounds.
A little bit more meticulous in what it's supposed to read.
So this is why I was late. I actually was on a podcast with two guys from Nevada and a guy from Idaho and a guy from Montana. Went through all this for an hour and a half, and that'll come out Tuesday. I won't ruin it all, but so.
Oh, I did not know that. But
yeah, that's where I was before I hopped on this call.
Why does Wildlife Service still have multiple You leaving us, Benny?
Yeah, I'm gonna go make some coffee and stay up all night.
Thinking about Africa?
Yeah, I sure hope you get it done, Dustin, because it's an experience that you'll never forget.
Yeah, when I talked to him and got more of the details, because I missed all the details when I hopped on. He had already talked about all of it. I mean, I think it could be. I mean, it's a trip of a lifetime in itself, but with the photographer and everything else that's going, that's an opportunity for me that's definitely special for what I do.
On top of all that, just the African experience. It's a completely different world over there.
Yeah.
And once you get out of the airport at Johannesburg and you get back farther into the bush, there's no place on the planet like South Africa. Probably the whole continent as far as that goes.
I can only imagine.
So, guys, I've enjoyed it. I'm going to have to kick Cody if I ever see him, because
I want to kick him in his shins too. Son of a gun. All righty, Benny.
Night, Benny.
Good night.
Sorry.
So why does Wildlife Service still have multiple contracts? Kill lines northeast. So that's another thing is
well, Jeremy hit it right on the head. Jeremy hit it. Sheep.
Oh.
People care. The state cares about sheep. Utah has units with lions before it all went to hell that they were always unlimited because it was sheep units, and sheep are more money to the state and they're going to get managed harder in sheep units. So if the local population is not taking out enough lions in the sheep units, the state's going to do it because those sheep are more valuable to them.
Bread and butter.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of sheep up in that northeastern Nevada?
Not that
There
I
are no
know
sheep.
of.
No,
Yeah,
not
no
northeast. It's more on the
Northwestern.
west. Yeah, it's more on the west side of the state, right, Jared?
So why
That are the
do they
sheep
got
units?
contracts over in the northeast side?
I
What
don't
I'm
know.
saying is,
I don't
if they're
know.
worried about that so bad, and why would they even consider a petition like this to limit anything if they are contracting? They have contractors out there.
Because it's not about lying numbers, Bubba. I think that's not the purpose. But you remember when we were at the deal in New Mexico where the California guy was showing the map by the state line? That's right across from Nevada where their sheep country is. So it's right there where they were killing all them sheep killers. It's right in that same country.
Well, that's
So
down south, ain't it? Or kind of to the west?
No, it's the whole border.
That whole western
Almost
border
the
is
whole
like that,
border.
to my understanding. Yeah,
So what about
There's
the
a lot of
northeast
sheep
side?
country.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
It's
know
like
what's going on in the north side.
Yeah, I'm not familiar
Yeah.
with the government hunters over there, but it's like what you're talking about, where the quota's not getting met. Like it doesn't sound like it has much to do with what the managing of the predator as much as it does with the managing of the business flowing into certain places.
No, I get the sheep part of it. I get the west side and all where all the sheep are along there, but
Unless they're trying to bring a mule deer herd back, stronger elk,
Very
or
possible.
they're trying to relocate sheep into the eastern side of the state.
Yeah, very possible. You know,
Which
And I
that
say-
could be.
hell, we used to
It's-
get 2 doe tags back in the day in Arizona too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They quit. We don't get to even hunt a doe now.
They probably should, because that's not good for the population and not take any doe out.
Well, we have no deer here, anyways. We don't have a huge population of deer.
I mean, down there in the 35s, there's so many deer down there. I don't know, but not like other places, but there's a lot of deer.
You used to go. I used to put in there. You get drawn every year, but then one year they decided to start give out 1,000 tags and 36s, and they just swamped it. You know, and I seen when they did that. I seen that deer population drop within 2-3 years. Herd line numbers were down in the northwest section where I hunt and see no one minus snow, but they just killed a record number of lions on contract in this area, so it's hard kind of cause and effect. That's in
like I
the
said,
north.
I'm not familiar with all of it. I just know a little.
Yeah, Jared's the Nevada guy.
Yeah, he's the local guy, and you got to have all the secrets.
Well, I just know where I hunt in Nevada, they got trapped out last year. Trapper texted me again. He's going to be in there this year.
And once those trappers get in there, the hound guys kind of stay out of there, right? Because they snare them.
No one, you have to because they snare, but no one hunts in Nevada. Not no one, but a lot of guys do not hunt when it's 102 out.
Yeah.
So that's
Rick,
why they do it in the summer.
Rick, we can hunt coyotes all year. About it. We can pursue coon.
Yeah.
But lion is end of August to May 31st.
Yeah, so it's shut down for about 2 months.
Bear, we can only run from August to end of the year.
If the unit
Depending
don't
on
close.
units. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what did
it's a change?
someone asked up here? Where was it? Something about the units closing. Oh, was it? I think he asked if it was the outfitters closing. I think this year is the spot and stalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the outfitters had a lot to do with it.
Very possible. Yeah, it wasn't hounds that did it.
No, it was only 20% killed in that unit with hounds. Yep. So we'll see what happens this year. We'll see how it works out. But that's how you do it, right? You go to, say, archery. They make a little change and see if that helps. They see if there's 15 more killed this year and it shuts down the unit again. If that happens, they're probably not going to be an over the OTC hunt in that unit.
Yep.
Shut it down.
That doesn't make sense to me. If there's so many bears that we're smoking them out in 2 days, it seems like maybe the quota's a little low. maybe we need a bear study. I don't know when the last time we had a bear study done in the range is. So,
Yep. I guess he went to Africa. Son of a bitch.
oh, I'm so jealous, man. So jealous.
Um,
Life.
I'm curious to see how it works out this year. I'm
Yeah.
hoping, I don't know, I don't know if you'll see more, maybe it'll be more selective, but even with archery, you're not shooting across canyons, right? You're
Yeah.
not shooting 800 yards.
No, but you're getting excited at 20 yards instead.
Exactly
I think
right.
the
It's
bow
harder to
hunters
get
are,
20 yards to a bear than it is 600.
Well,
especially
that's
in
your
Unit
elk
1.
hunters and your deer hunters that are walking through the woods or sitting in a stand or waiting somewhere on a water hole, and that bear comes in.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how many we whack out of.
I think
the
they'll
first
get
one.
less. I think they'll get a lot less shot opportunities being so range limited. I hope so. I'd like to be able to hunt Unit 1 this year. I didn't get to last year. I missed it. It was closed that first week,
You
and I
know,
never got to go.
I peek into there every once in a while. I don't go real deep into it. I stay around my unit 3B.
Yeah,
I'll come
on
in
the
and out of.
edge.
And I come in and out of one, but
I like it just to the east of your stuff, like to the east of Los Barros. When you get to those, you go through the burn and get to those, like those big prairie fields and stuff.
yeah, 96 road.
Yeah, yeah. I like that country. I hunted there in the snow that one time. I'd like to hunt bears in there. It looks good. Looks like the good kind of country for my dogs to cover some ground.
Well, they'll cover some ground over there, all right, right to the reservation. That 96 road, some of that stuff's only about 80 yards off the road to reservation. So, I don't know. I hope it's a good bear season. I didn't get out for lion like I wanted to this year. That's what happens when you start a C3. But I think lion's going to be good next year, in fall, because they didn't kill a lot of lions at all.
It would have been a good year.
No, there was no snow. There's no snow. So we have a lot that survived, a lot that made it, and especially in my
Even in
unit.
the dirt this year, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys struggling in the dirt this year. I mean, some guys did still. There's a couple guys I know did real good still, but.
And it doesn't mean that there's no lions. It just could mean they moved off somewhere for some reason. Now, if you got a bunch of
lions. I talked to buddies, and they were finding lions every day trailing. It's just never catch up to one, or where they were
just dry.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It was, it seemed like I had a couple times I had a jump line, and my dogs just weren't putting pressure on it like they should.
Yeah.
And then there's some times where things would go right, and they'd just burn a track down and go right up. But I mean, we had a night old tom track this year, and the dogs stood on their head, and we trailed it a half mile in 6 hours.
That would drive me nuts. That would drive me nuts, dude. I would die. I'd pull my hair out.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe next year would be better.
Yeah, hopefully it's wetter. I'm hoping it's wetter.
Well, it's nice right now. I might go hunt 3C in the next couple weeks with all this moisture. Stick to that golf course. I want to try to catch them. I want to tree them inside of that golf course on a tree. That'd be kind of cool. Right in on my mule. Probably find me for tearing up the green with my. Oh, I don't have shoes on my mule, so it's all right. Natural.
Just leave dents.
Yep. They'll see me coming through there. No, you can't bait bear in Arizona. On the reservation, actually.
Yeah, you can.
So White Mountain Apache tribe, you can, and they do good on those baits. They do real good on those baits. But I've never ran on those baits, but I know people who say it's tough to run on those baits because there's just too much. You have to go out a mile, try to find that hot track that's going away.
Too much.
Hopefully you trail it the right way.
Yeah. Well, Jeremiah said they have a lot of trouble getting backwards tracks coming off in baits. I've never hunted off a bait either.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Why is he still up there?
Oh.
But other than that, I hope it's a good bear season. I'm curious to see how the archery hunt's going to go. Curious to see if these outfitters, these big guides, get a whole bunch of hound guys in there. And hopefully, you know what that might do, even if the outfitter that gets all those hound guys in there, hopefully they'll be more selective.
Yeah.
That might help out,
90% of it.
you know. So that might be a good thing. They're not just going to whack everything. You know, if you're running dogs and they're not really pressured by people shooting them all over the place. You know, a lot of people say, I don't like to hunt during deer or elk season, but I love hunting during there because those guys are out there walking around, pushing them around. They won't stay in
Bumping
those
them.
canyons.
Yep.
You know, at least get them to cross the road if you're rigging. But I do a lot of free casting. I do a lot of free casting. So, and I've literally sat back and watched a guy rig around a mountain, walked in and caught a bear because that bear just thermals weren't right and it didn't cross the road. You know, it's just like a lion. If a lion has a kill in somewhere, there's a couple spots where if he has a kill in there and he's sticking around for, someone was talking about a lion and it stayed in on a kill for 15 days. And it had coyotes there. He was killing coyotes. Maybe it was a podcast. Maybe it was, I don't remember.
They were talking about that on those camera trap studies out in New Mexico.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because
I know
they were
they
studying the effects. Yeah, it was 2 weeks, and they studied the effects of the mesopredator coming into the kill and what the lion did and how the bear and lion reacted to it.
Yep. But I know they found dead coyotes on the kill too, but that was probably just a badass Tom Lyon sitting on his kill. He's like, nope. And I remember Cleve Dwyer was talking about if there's an eagle on a something dead, it was probably a lion kill. That always stuck in my brain. If there was buzzards, it probably was just some other kill, or the coyotes have got it already. I wish Cleve didn't tell me to lose his number. I'm just picking on you, Cleve. I still love Cleve. I have nothing against him, I'll be honest. So, but just how it is.
Yeah.
And they did have a meeting Friday, and I don't know how it went. So, but
I didn't go.
I guess. What's that?
I was like, I didn't even go.
Well,
Me and Rowdy went out instead.
Yeah. They're just gonna have to hash it out. You know, and honestly, does that make you think right now, let's say in Arizona, should I start putting something together for hound permits? You know what I mean? Should the next state over start saying, okay, we don't want to jump into the whole, you know, because Cleve told me, I'll say his name now, you know, but he told me, he says, you guys should be doing the same in Arizona, but I don't want to do that. I don't think you should do the whole
limitation.
Would I like it where I had more me here than out of staters? Yeah, everybody would like their own, you know, everybody would like only 5 hound guys in your state and you're the only one out there running. But I really think that they should do a hound permit thing. Like I said, I've said this before, when I go to the bombing range, every year I file for a permit and I get online and I say I'm going to be there that day, how long, what my truck is.
Yeah.
I think they should do that for out-of-staters anyway. Whether I'm an out-of-stater going to Texas or Oklahoma or, you know, get online. I mean, we got technology like you wouldn't believe. You can't get online and say, I'm going to be in the state for 5 days. This is my truck number. I have 5 dogs. I have 8 dogs. It don't matter. At least when the warden pulls up and you're registered, like, oh, yeah, you're supposed to be here. It's that guy that didn't register you're going to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
Why didn't he register? What do you have to hide? You know, like these e-tags. Everybody's like, oh, these e-tags, they're going to know everything. Man, they know what you do anyways. We've already talked about this. Your phone, your GPS, your collars, your truck. It don't matter to me. I'm not trying to hide nothing. And if I've told plenty of people this in law enforcement that I would give you 5 days and give me an elk to kill in a unit, certain area. I don't even care. Give me 5 days and I guarantee you won't catch me. And I'll give you permission to tag my phone and my trucks and all that stuff. I said, a poacher is someone who got caught. So an outlaw who's someone who's out there doing it. and not getting caught. So these guys are going to do it whether you have 40. Like I said, you think there's only 75 houndsmen in Idaho? There's not only 75 houndsmen. Like you said, they're going to have their buddies, and what does that entail? A guy is it limit dogs? You only get 3 dogs, 5 dogs, 8 dogs. Can you have 15 dogs there, but you're only allowed to run 5 at a time? This is when you start getting into that stupid crap of let's just all go for fighting over stolen land. Oh yes, I just said that. The buddy system will be in full effect anyway. Only people that mind the rules or hunt. The only reason you have a lock on your trailer or your box is to keep the honest people out.
Mm-hmm. Fighting over stolen land. My goodness.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're right about that. It's going to go. There's going to be outlaws no matter what. I was asked today by somebody too, what if they get rid of hounds? You still going to run them? I said, oh yeah, I'll still run hounds. What am I running? Rabbits? Coyotes? So I think, but how long is that going to last? That's a big gray area. So I think me and Jared talk about it. Shoot, 5 or 10 years, we don't know where we'll be.
Yep.
You got the land grabs going on right now. You just sitting
out
today.
here just lost 500 acres.
That eminent domain, it should be about as legal as you can get. If you own the land, you own the land. Period. I don't give a shit what the government says.
And
you don't come in and say you don't own it no more.
Now he's got to rent a helicopter to get around.
Because he can't. Because there's no road into it. Because they dished up the road, tore it out, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. And what was he doing? Flying in a dirt bike on a helicopter?
Yep. To get around. So I think we need to pay attention to the public land thing. And I know, what is that? AFW here, Arizona for Wildlife, or I don't know what it is. It's
Wildlife for All. WFA.
No. This is a organization for it, and they're fighting the land, AFW or whatever. They're fighting the land grabs.
Yeah,
and that's it. And if they can't get to us by the hunting, what are they going to do? They're going to pull out, like what they do over there, Jared. They pulled the road.
Yep.
They pull the road. You can't get in. Guess what? It starts growing over. No one gets in there no more. I can tell places I hunt when people don't go in there. I was just somewhere the other day, and I'm like, God, no one's been back here because the trees are growing over the road. So it's less and less area. It's harder and harder to hunt. I think you need to hunt as much as you can, and we need to find as much as you fight it as much as you can. But I was talking to another guy today and said he knew billionaires that wouldn't give up a dime that hunt. These billionaires that hunt. So
they can always go hunt. They can always go somewhere and hunt. I think we need to, as a group, we need to be more concerted and involved about that public land rights and access, because those grabs are happening left, right, and center. We need to get more ear to the ground on that a little better. I'm going to talk to Michael Cravens and see if we can't figure out some more details on that.
He's the one doing the public land grab deal. He's really into that. He's kind of the green conservationist guy. I think he does a lot of land stuff. If we have no land to hunt, we're not going to be able to hunt.
Yeah, that's fact.
And I just want to go hunt. I don't want to have to worry about this. I like to just go hunt. So I think we need to pay attention to what's going on out there and hunt as much as we can. But I'm curious to see how this new season's going to work out for Unit 1 and 27. I have to read through and see what it is. I just want to get out and hunt.
I
I'm gonna
haven't
try
heard
to get
anyone
out.
too upset about it yet.
No, I'm sure there'll be some good comments about it, but
I'd
it is
really
what
like
it
to
is.
see I'd really like to see a bear pursuit tag.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that little petition deal.
Oh, no doubt,
Pain in
no
the
doubt.
butt.
I'm just hoping it goes through.
Mhm.
So I'd like to fill the freezer up, but then I'd like to not be done when I get done filling up my freezer. You know?
Mhm. Yep.
Tree my bear needed too. You know what I mean?
We'll get Jared bear hunting this year too.
There we go. Hey, them little black dogs of his
Nice.
probably be mean on a bear. They're quick.
We'll get him hunting some bear.
We'll see.
Hey, down in his country, the time he gets back, they're liable to be overgrown with bears. I kept catching them down there.
There's a lot of bear down there. No one really thinks about it.
I know there
No,
wasn't
there's
supposed
good
to be none, and I kept on running into them. I'd be trailing the line and jump a damn bear, and now my dogs, that's all they like that better anyway. Which
Yep.
that's fine with me. I don't care. I ain't care about what I catch. I just like catching things.
Yep. Well, if anybody wants to go on an Africa hunt, I don't know if Dustin's going to be able to do it.
You got to fight Dustin Clark for it.
Yep. So if you guys missed the first part of the show, Cody King jumped on and said he has an Africa hunt he's giving away to somebody.
Flight leaves Friday.
From my insider's viewpoint, things that are going on with public lands right now are getting pretty concerning. I'm glad you hear a discussion about it. I can get Michael Craven on to talk about that. I think we talk about hunting, taking our rights away, but when it comes to that public land, they start shutting roads. You lose hunting. I mean, get on a mule and go out there, but not everybody can afford to feed a mule all year.
Yeah,
And everybody hunts. I know people who've gotten rid of their mules because none of their clients wanted to go on the mules. They want to just get in a side by side.
It's hard.
Lazy.
It's hard. Butt gets sore.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah, but it's hard for them after 5 days only. That's
especially if they're only doing it every couple, 2-3 years,
Yep.
So
don't use those muscles, all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, you find out some muscles you don't use when you're just walking around and hiking. No matter how much you hike and do the stair stepper, you get on a mule.
Do the stair stepper.
Right, Jared?
Totally different.
So, but I enjoy it.
How'd you like hunting at a slower pace, Jared?
It wasn't slower.
Oh, there ain't a mule alive to keep up with you.
There is Rowdy. I was impressed with Rowdy's mule. That was a good mule.
Pretty nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, short little girl. She was awesome.
Well, hurry and get back over here, and we'll go hunt some mules.
Sounds good. I go up BLM here one of these days. Go pick up a couple and more ponies, and I'm training some welding work, but get a couple.
Oh yeah, you got a nice welder too.
I did. I had to go buy one the other day. Now it's just work.
Yeah.
Hunt when I can.
I think I'm gonna go and cry myself to sleep because I didn't get to go to. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna get online and get me a passport.
There you go.
Me too. I'm doing that.
It's probably easier now. Like my PI license, I had to renew my PI license all online. I did it online. I didn't have to take nothing to the DPS, and they have a electronic fingerprint thing right here in town. So it was handy. So I'm sure same thing. And I already have clearance, so I shouldn't have nothing holding me up.
There you go.
But everybody should have a passport on this show. Yep. Now we know that.
You never know.
All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Road closures are the least of the concerns now. More like private corporation gates will be it. Just like Oregon, right? All them timber places shut it down.
Yeah. But, all right, I'm gonna jump off here. I gotta pave starting at 5 a.m. So.
All righty. I will see you guys later.
We'll see you fellas next time.
Sounds good, guys. Later.
Bye.